We have some awesome guests with us tonight. We're going to be bringing them up here shortly. We have Keith Graber and Ed Roesgen, both amazing comedians. They also do some awesome open mics you got to sign up for. We're going to bring them up right now. We have Keith Graber.
What's up, guys?
And Ed Roesgen. How you guys doing?
Hi. How you doing? My muted? No, I'm on. All right.
Last word. James Franco did direct Disaster Artist. So.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay. Yeah. Have you guys seen Disaster Artist?
Listen,
oh, yeah.
Dan, I'll talk about The Room with you for days, man.
Mm-hmm. All I saw was Tim and Eric with him doing Pigman, and I was like, I gotta go watch that movie.
Got the backstory.
The whole time I was thinking, when you're talking about him being the rich guy, I was like, "Oh, hi, Mark Zuckerberg." You know, like I was floating around.
Right, yeah. Mark is third. So it's Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and then Mark.
Mm-hmm. I shot a car into space. How did it work? Surprisingly well. That's something that Elon Musk. Tommy Wiseau could deliver way better than any other actor for that. You know, it just works. Sounds like something he would say or do or try to do, and it would work.
All right. So, question for both of you. What got you into stand-up comedy? Whoever wants to go first.
Keith lost a bet.
And the follow-up to that bet was to wear this sweatshirt on a podcast. And so I'm billing this as Unicorn Bukkake. No, I'll take this one. I have no idea what got Ed into stand-up. But while he remembers, because he's been in it longer than me, honestly, I was writing a lot of sketch comedy, and I wanted to do TV writing and screenplay and film. And then a friend of mine who I was writing with, who's one of my sketch writing partners, he said, "Hey, let's sign up for stand-up." And then I started doing it, and I really enjoyed it, and it took off for me. You know, I kept doing it, kept at it, and just kind of got carried away with it. Ed?
Oh yeah, I moved out here about 5 years ago, and my younger sister had been living in California, because I'm originally from Pennsylvania, since she was going to college here. She had been doing stand-up for a couple of years. Ooh. And I went and saw her, and it was at the Ice House in Pasadena. And anybody that started doing comedy in LA in the last, I don't know how long, knows Dave McNary, who just recently passed away. He was an amazing guy. Yeah, he used to put on that show on stage too. And I think it was Sunday nights. It was like the worst day of the week. It was 7:00 on a Sunday night. It was on the second stage, but he gave so many people a start. Yeah. And so my sister had been on his show several times, and she said, if you want to see me do comedy, this was probably the first couple weeks I was living here. She said, I can get on this guy's show. And I went and saw her, and it was great. And afterwards, I thanked him profusely, and he looked at me and said, your sister told me you were always the funny one growing up.
Ooh, a challenge.
I said, maybe I'll see you soon, Dave. I went back and auditioned a month later. He was off that day, thank God. I did so horribly bad. It was my first time ever on a stage. I did not get called back. I took a month, and I went back the next month with some actual jokes, and he was there, booked me, and that was the first time, and ever since then I've been hooked. So
that's awesome.
I have to. I had the pleasure of meeting Dave once, but I never auditioned for him because I would work on the weekends, and I always told myself I was going to do it. But my friends, they were on multiple shows of his, and just going to his shows and seeing like all these new comedians and seasoned comics. There are very few people out there that help new comedians. Dave was one of those rare ones that just he basically said, you can do this. Like, you can definitely go far by doing stand-up comedy compared to everyone else. It's a lot more critical, like, yeah, good luck, or it's a dog eat dog world. Stand-up comedy is a dog eat dog world, and it's nice to be in a circle of people that are so welcoming, supportive. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that direction because when I actually started, we did a class, and it was a casting director doing the class. So it was basically like me and 10 other actors who were doing workshopping stand-up. And I did it with the intention of being serious about doing stand-up. And we weren't given any real direction in terms of joke writing. And that's really where I was like, I can be funny, but how do I write a set, you know? And I never really got that. And I kind of just had to, you know, I don't know. I just grassroots raw dogging it, just had to make it up as I went along. And I finally figured out a system, you know, so.
Which is crazy enough. We've actually had this conversation where there are a lot of classes for stand-up out there, but there are some that are they're just a teacher there with giving you basic instruction that they've taught repeatedly for years, but they're not even invested anymore. So they'll hear your set and maybe just tell you to tweak some words, but don't really care. No support. Just, hey, you should do this. Okay. But then you have like those rare instructors that are like, it's good, but I need you to add more passion, or I need you to do this. Like and those are also difficult to come across. I think that's why there was a class that Stephanie and I took, which was Leslie.
Oh yeah,
she's definitely one of those. She's a rare bird. Like I've had some great instructors, but she's one of the few that honestly just like she makes you want to continue doing this, because there are moments in time where you're just like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore.
Let's see here. So how did you guys meet, and how long have you guys known each other?
Oh, the incomparable Sally Mullins. Come on, everyone knows Sally. So basically,
we're both on the same train that we were running on Sally that night.
Yeah,
he was in
we were high-fiving each other, and we're like, you know, this should last longer. We should hang out after.
If you think that's horrible, you don't know Sally that well.
You know, I should have gone that direction, but the first thing my line said was like, you guys were hobos jumping a train in the night, like, oh, you got your bindle? Yeah, you got your gold tooth? That's good, you come with us.
It's more embarrassing than that. We met on Zoom. So there you go. That's even worse on a train.
Yeah, Sally would roast us harder. So Sally, I guess, had somebody she was involved with who wanted to start a Zoom show. This is the very beginning of quarantine. I want to say probably late March, mid-April. I don't know, somewhere around that, 2020. And she basically did a post and said, hey, anybody want to do Zoom comedy? At that point, even now, there's comedians who don't want to do Zoom comedy. At that point, the barrel was we were at the, I was like, I'm thirsty as fuck. I'll do it, and so, and she's, and Sally knows a lot of comics. And I think she reached out to a few people, and there was like 6 that, appeared and said, yeah, we'll do Zoom comedy. And we had a fun show going, but it was a little bit like, there was something lacking, and it was a little bit of like, hey, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And you
paint that such a pretty picture, Keith. Here's what happened, guys. So we had this group, and it was a nice group of people, but it got to the point where we could realize that some people were serious about their comedy, whereas other people were just kind of dicking around. And so we decided that we would get out of there and do something, a little more serious. So I recognized Keith as being serious, and he recognized me as being serious. So we took it serious for a minute, and that's how we started doing Locked in a Room. Mm-hmm. It was a great idea. We just thought it needed a little more polish and a little better direction.
Mm-hmm. Awesome stuff. I enjoy the stuff you guys throw, and I love doing the open mics. It's real fun. I know Dan likes the open mics too. Don't you, Dan?
Every once in a while, you go to one and you're in the wrong open mic that night.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's laughing; they're too busy cutting themselves or something like that.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, I don't return to those.
or there's ego involved, and we're ego free. I mean, look at us. You think I got an ego? Look at this face. Look at this shirt. No.
It looks
just
like
have fun,
Picasso just started all over your sweater. Is that what it is? A sweater, sweater? I can't even tell. It's so colorful.
It's a graphic hoodie. I don't know. I was like, people were like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I was like, "Oh, let me check what Amazon has for midlife crisis." And then I found this hoodie, and I was like, "All right, it's cool."
It's a violently graphic hoodie.
How did you guys come up with the name Locked in a Room?
Because quarantine. That was Keith's idea, actually.
Yeah. And I'll to Ed's credit. Okay, so we came up with. So Ed actually reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, we got to do this right. Let's start a thing." I'm like, "Yes, I love your work. Let's do this." And so we sat down and we were pitching ideas. And I'm just like slinging stuff. I'm like, "How about Locked in a Room with Ed and Keith?" The stupidest one I could think of. And Ed's like, immediately, "Yes, that's it." I'm like, "No, I got more." And Ed's like, "No. Don't know more. That one."
Because immediately Ed's like, we could have posters where we have straitjackets on.
Yeah.
He's like,
No,
I have to have this.
Keith came up with the concept of the straitjacket guys. He was like, I want it to look like when on Terrence and Phillip on South Park, when they'd have Saddam Hussein and his head was just a little too big for the body. His wife does all of our graphic design, and he just told her, "That's what I want," and took 2 headshots of us, and she cooked those up, and they're perfect. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
He does a lot for us, too.
You'd be
Kimberly.
surprised how many times I give my wife direction on graphic design, and she's like, "Really? Are you sure?" And then we do it anyway. So that's what this is. No, and then immediately, well, not immediately, then Ed was like, "Wait a second, Locked in a Room spells liar." And then, the branding ensues because it's such a great name. I don't know. It just flows,
Yeah,
So
it does.
It's actually interesting is that my dad in Tennessee, you already know certain things. Hi, Dad. You're probably watching. Anyway, no. He has a drinking club called the Liars Club, and I asked my stepmom, what do they lie about, and she goes, "Where they're at."
yeah, your dad in Tennessee's in DC right now, just so you know.
My father had friends had a similar thing on Friday nights. They would get together and drink until the wee hours and solve the world's problems. They called themselves the Poets, and it stood for piss on everything. Tomorrow's Saturday. So.
Brilliant.
That's cool.
Brilliant.
By the way, I wanted to add one more greeting card idea that I had to your list.
Yeah.
There should be one that says, "Sorry, we stormed your capital." Like, we need those right now. Yeah.
Sorry, we stormed your capital. Have you found my teeth?
oh my gosh. Speaking of which, did you guys hear about, so you guys know the Proud Boys, right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a group of women on Parler that made their own group called the Proud Girls.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So the Proud Boys issued a statement and said, "This is a boys' club. Stick to the kitchen where you belong."
Mm-hmm. On brand.
On brand.
Which was, yeah, predictably, right? But
Yeah.
I like it. It's how they're like, "Well, here's more white supremacists for you, but no, let's continue dividing that too." Like,
Yeah. Well, they're one by one getting sent to federal prison, so they'll be the Plowed Boys pretty soon. You're first, guys.
Right.
Loud boy.
Proud boy.
way to bend the rules.
Right. And it
Literally.
didn't stop Elizabeth and her piano scarf from being a part of the protest. That graphic, I just can't get that image. She's so funny, out of my mind. You guys,
Was she the one that was pepper sprayed, or was she the one that was like handheld down the Capitol steps?
she was pepper sprayed. She said she was
Okay.
pepper sprayed. Like,
Well,
I just, there's a scarf that has a piano on it. Like, I think that just, we're here for revolution from Tennessee with our piano scarf.
She's so
Dan feels
cute.
attacked
They
right
flew people in. They flew people in from other states.
Right.
They didn't live here to cause stuff in a city they don't live in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa! Projection.
Right.
I love it. I love his tweets. You got
And then
peaceful. Go home.
They had frozen his tweets or something. They had frozen him yesterday.
He had something. He was. I don't know if it was a. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was a tweet. Before he got shut down.
Yeah,
He got shut down, right?
I don't know if it's still on, but I saw
they paused him on Facebook,
Mhm.
Twitter, and YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're referring to the video that he put out, I think, Stefan. I mean, weren't you guys like sitting on your couch for hours yesterday watching all this stuff? I know I was. No, guys, come on. You only get to watch Democracy Crumble once.
I know. I felt bad coming on as the interview. I was like, wait a second. We had the Capitol siege and Stacey coming off of COVID. Hey, we're here to bury the lead, people. Thank you for having us. This is great to be
Those
here.
people didn't do nothing to the Capitol. They didn't have any dynamite with them that day. Like, damn it, we forgot the fishing gear.
By the way, Stacey, you need to go public with this shit because if those anti-maskers had any idea that it ruins your libido, libido.
Yes,
You wouldn't have anti-maskers. You realize this, right?
Like, it's going to kill my boner? I don't like that. I'm going to wear the mask.
Actually, I thought a lot of them were anti-maskers because they killed boners a long time ago, and they're upset about it now.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have baby dicks to work with. I mean, but if they get COVID, they're fucked. It's just gonna be like a little flaccid Niagara Falls
You
right
got a
there.
second belly button. What happened?
By the way, one of my favorite memes I saw, because I can't take credit for it, was I thought it was clever, was someone with the picture of them climbing the wall saying, Trump supporters, proving that walls don't work.
It's
like,
that's hilarious.
So, I mean, but we do have to agree that the guy that I got a picture sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk is going to be a right-wing meme for probably like
10 years? 5 years?
Probably 20 years, since they won't do shit since then, probably. But like, that's
I don't know if he beats Buffalo guy though, right?
Yeah, I think Buffalo guys. It's much
Buffalo
more
guy.
memorable.
No. Buffalo guy is the left-wing meme. That's the left-wing meme. That's what we're laughing at.
Yeah.
They're laughing at. He put his feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
No, I think the person that's going to end up being the meme is the Air Force lady who took a bullet that went right through her neck. Because isn't the Air Force's slogan "Aim high"? Which I think they did. They went on a fire. And she bled out and died like the piece of garbage trailer that she was. How about
And I
that?
was going to say, and that was interesting to me too. Like, they would not give any information. I was just like, is she, was she someone that worked at the Capitol? Was she a proud girl? What, was she? So
No, she was from San Diego.
She's
She was from San Diego.
She's
She did
a
4
QAnon
tours.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, she did 4 tours. She served.
Guys, my mom is in the QAnon. I'm sorry to out you, but out there, she don't watch this shit. But yeah,
Did you know that only Democrats engage in pedophilia?
Okay. So Newsmax and other right-wing websites immediately issued out articles saying that it was Antifa behind the protest because it was a peaceful protest and they were sabotaged, right? These idiots, these redneck idiots went and put on their Facebooks and their Instagrams and their TikToks, no, we did it. We did it. We did it for the revolution. It was all us.
I will say this: Antifa deserves a fucking Oscar for what happened yesterday. That was brilliant. Like, that was like some method shit.
The fact that
costumes,
you had
the makeup,
right-wing websites trying to save the asses of these idiots,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "No, we did it. We did." I'm like, these fucking, you guys had one little ticket to probably getting away with it. But then you're posting this shit online, and now the FBI is going to be coming knocking at your door.
Yeah.
They didn't
Can I
do
say
it to
something
get away with it. They
controversial?
did it to
I'm kind of glad it happened. I mean, in a way, like, had the Capitol Police been more effective, we would have had just, protesters behind barriers, and none of this would have been outed to the way that it actually has,
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the only piece of it that helps, especially as a person of color, is just don't know if it'll have the ripple effect or the consequence that we truly care about. But like all the memes said, and I posted one, like, we just want you to not shoot us the way you did not shoot them. And I mean, but I think the prayer is that the people, like, I feel like when I post on social media, I'm talking to the choir anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my friends and we all agree on the same things. But I think if it's just for anybody who still wants to argue that that's not what police do, and it's exactly what police do. It's exactly what they do. And
I think all of us understand that. I think what happened was, and a lot of people alluded to this in the jokes and the memes and the tweets yesterday, is that you have a red hat under a blue hat with those police.
Right.
And so one of the best jokes that I saw, or memes that I saw, was like, how many people, how many of those protesters' phones went off when they activated the National Guard? Like, oh shit, I'm late for work.
Right.
Like, that's what we're dealing with, is that the people who have this power are the people who are oppressing. And all of us are sort of in the same boat. Just some of us are treated differently because of the color of our skin, etc.
Right. There's the scene from what is that? A Time to Kill. I think it's the ending scene where they expose. There's a scene, like, it's kind of like toward the end where one of the policemen is exposed as a Klansman, and pretty much that's what we're talking about. There's just you don't happen to have on your hood today, but
and we still live in a world where that exposure doesn't amount to all that much.
Right. That's speaking of that, definitely not to go too far into the news direction. I was watching CNN Live, and Angela Rye, the very, very, very frank, honest commentator who comes on there, definitely advocating and speaking on behalf of, people of color, was calling Kelly Loeffler KKK Kelly. And someone she was on the panel with, who was from Georgia, a Republican woman, who actually said, okay, yes, glad for Raphael Warnock making history, but she wanted to argue, she definitely, of course, is going to argue down that is not a fair characterization of Kelly Loeffler. But, but for the rest of us looking at her, yeah, it is. Like, you have someone, and you say you didn't know that he was a Klansman when you took a picture with him and all these things, but yeah, come on.
It's crazy how the tables have turned, because when it was Ashley, right? Her name, the woman that died yesterday.
Just look it up, Ashley Babbitt. Yeah.
People in red hats screamed. An officer shot her. She did nothing, and demanded this officer be fired right away. And I'm like, imagine being home and getting killed because someone fucked up at their job. That,
right?
Yeah, Brianna. Well, there's multiple. There's
right. Like,
Brianna's not the only one. Yeah, but
the list is,
this woman broke the barriers, went and started damaging the door, was told to seize, and still went against instruction, and died for her conviction. She knew she was putting herself at risk, and she still defied the law. They're screaming to fire this police officer, but there's people dying in their homes, and to them, they deserved it.
Right.
They weren't following instruction. Like,
Yeah.
Like someone said again, I'll keep it, and I'll shoot. Tamir Rice, 12 years old, Cincinnati, Ohio, shot for having a toy gun at a rec center. Like we don't go in and try to check with the 12-year-old. We just shoot him and kill him, and we do not even allow his sister to attend to him, that he will bleed out right there. You know what I'm saying? So
the one that broke
this is a warning. This is what happens when you go full Karen. You never go full Karen.
It's crazy, and it breaks my heart. And the only reason that I always get so angry, or I feel like I'm gonna cry, is just thinking about Philandro. I probably pronouncing that wrong too, because hello, Hispanic accent. But
Philando Castile out of Minnesota, I think Minneapolis, Minnesota.
The man complied and even notified the officer he was going for his driver's license. He followed the law and he died.
In front of his girlfriend and his daughter.
Where were these women? Where were these people that were screaming, "The police shot this innocent person"? No, she wasn't innocent. Where were you when these people died? Like, it's infuriating.
I tweeted something about Breonna Taylor. You know, imagine if she was a domestic terrorist instead of just sleepy. Like, this is what we're dealing with. This is like all these people are acting with impunity. Still not arrested. You know,
still not arrested. Still not arrested.
And yet somebody was just sleeping in their house, and that's that's the comparison.
And not to mention the police officers have sued her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's white body armor is what they were all wearing yesterday.
Yep.
I've got like 5 pairs in my closet.
Jesus.
They gave me some. It grows with my skin. Hey, on a lighter note, though, on a lighter note, you guys also have a great show every week called The Show.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
We do a lot of productions.
Yeah. You guys do a ton of stuff. I think my wife's yelling at the kid. Hey, don't yell at the kid so loud. It's going through the mic. Anyway.
I want to hear. I want to hear how white people discipline their kids. Come on.
My wife doesn't do it the normal way. Her family's
it's a timeout. You know it's a fucking timeout, Stacy.
So anyway,
I am disappointed in you. I just don't want to look at you.
But yeah, the shit show. I mean, I've watched it before. You guys have great comedians on there. Sally Mullins has been on there quite a bit. She's a regular. It appears, right?
She's a
every time we've seen it. Yeah. And then who's the comedian? I thought he was actually pretty hilarious. The guy that talks with an outside voice. Outside voice indoors is how you introduced him once.
Oh, probably, comedian Matthew Robinson. Ed, you want to fill in the audience on what CMR brings?
No, I don't want to be associated with that guy whatsoever.
We're not
somebody invited him to our mics. You know how it is. I don't know.
I think that's going to be my story as we go along. Anyway, but yeah, they have a great show. You guys, I've seen you guys play games like Fuck, Marry, Kill. Made me think today about Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and Ted Cruz. Ed.
Oh, I've got to do that. Okay. So, who is it? McConnell, Cruz, and who's the last one?
And Dump. Donald Dump.
And Trump.
Okay. So I would kill Trump because that's going to take all my concentration. I would get infected with the most deadly form of every STD and then fuck Cruz. And then I would have a Black Widow marriage pact. And on our honeymoon night, I would consummate with and then kill McConnell, only because he's got a lot of money. So I'll take that when he's gone. So they all end up dead. But that's the way I do it.
And you said consummate with McConnell. I mean, you won't feel anything. It's probably all squishy.
Right. Ask his wife, the Secretary of Transportation, who resigned today. Like all this time, like I had no vision for Mitch McConnell even being married. Of course he is, but I'm just saying. But like, yeah, his wife resigned. She resigned as a result of the chaos yesterday.
Well, she resigned as a result of not wanting to be on voting on the 25th Amendment. That's why she resigned. That's why any cabinet member with any good sense who doesn't want to be on the hot seat is leaving right now. Because they don't want to be asked to actually have to do shit to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Wow.
Tell our audience.
William Barr like resigned 2 weeks ago. And
maybe he saw it coming. I don't know. The guy doesn't seem that smart to me. But
he is he's kind of an evil genius. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff that most people can't get away with.
Can we tell the audience what the 25th Amendment is?
The 25th Amendment is when you. Okay.
I love how Ed likes that. I love how Ed's laughing at that.
If you'd like.
This reminds me of the Super Dave episode of Norm Macdonald where he's like, "Can you tell me about the?" Anyway, sorry.
25th Amendment right now is Plan A, to deem the president no longer fit for duties,
Right.
and his cabinet and the vice president have to have a vote. I forget how many people have to sign off on it, but it's basically it's on his cabinet to make that decision.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Plan B is if they refuse to do so, they're going to Congress will do another vote to impeach him.
So the 25th, the difference is the impeachment can be for like just breaking the law or whatever. The 25th Amendment is put in the Constitution for a situation where the president is incapable of fulfilling his duties. That's why it's people closest to him and the vice president that invoke it, because it's for when the president is kind of not stable enough to be the president anymore. And so that's why they're trying to get him to do that first, because it's the quickest and easiest way to get him out of there. And God knows we have the evidence at this point.
I was going to say, but he proved that the day after he was elected. He certainly proved it yesterday.
Yeah,
The biggest concern-
no problem.
The biggest concern is that we have this loose cannon, and he still has the nukes, etc.
Okay,
And the
let me
Russians.
talk about this. Everybody's saying this about, Trump can't tweet or go on Facebook, but he's still got the nuclear codes. Come on. Every single former defense secretary that's still alive signed a letter saying to use the 25th Amendment on him. And that was started by Dick Cheney, of all people. So if you think that anybody in the military, Trump's walking around with a briefcase and it says nuke code
Apple in it.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. That's what he's got. That ain't real. He
opens it up. Would you like some gummy bears?
He's wearing codes. Yeah.
Gummy bears.
Guy
there
picked
is-
the number and told him to type in fire, and then that would launch him. He doesn't have no. They're crazy. They're
He's
not
done it 20 times already. They didn't have what I wanted at McDonald's. The McRib isn't back right now.
He's tried to
Fucking
do it like
launch.
10 countries. It nothing. Yeah.
Oh my
That's a
God.
whole mess. But I just didn't know.
The last time he tried to enter the nuclear codes was when he was making popcorn.
Okay,
Oh, my.
but I mean, in reality, though, there is a speculation that Donald Trump will end up opening a Parler account since he's banned from other social media platforms. So, come on, knowing what this man has done and said before, what's it going to be like? Hey, here are the nuke codes, guys. You're the only people that believe in me. Like, go on, do your thing.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm hoping Ed's right.
enter nuclear codes into. You have to be like
Yeah.
a Pentagon. It's not like if I had them, it wouldn't do me any good.
Yeah, you got to enter him into something.
An aircraft carrier. I first have to get to the ocean.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about Parler. By the way, I did get a MySpace invite from Donald Trump. I'm on his list. I'm not signing up. I'm not going to follow. I don't.
There you go.
And I have to know, what are you smoking? You're blowing so much smoke.
It's a vape. I'm addicted to nicotine.
No,
Smoking 5 years ago, and this helped me do it. And now Gavin Newsom's going to take that away from me too. He's great.
Oh man.
Since this is a political show, I didn't know I was going to be on. Let's bet you about Newsom.
We're talking about everything. Talking about everything.
We talk about everything. You know what, guys? How about this? You stay on with us. We'll get out of the political sphere now. How about you guys stay with us?
Before we get out,
Anthony,
I just want to
MySpace
know.
is back.
Yeah, but before we get out of the political sphere, this is what I need to know, though. I would like to know, how did Mitch McConnell get a Taiwanese wife? Like, because that's the first thing I thought. I assumed that she would be like a Karen, an older Karen-looking person. I was so blown away that she was Taiwanese first. And then also,
I got the address.
there
Mail
is-
order. Yeah.
Right. But and then there is an initiative in the hip hop community, the Move Mitch initiative, and it's of course from the Why is his name escaping me all of a sudden? I can see his face. The Ludacris song. The Ludacris song is Move. Right. So this is but it's real. Like I was looking and a lot of it's taking hold that people are, serious about the Move Mitch. So that's like the next thing I'll be posting. Move Mitch, get out the way. We really do think he's a bitch though. I just saying.
There's too many Republicans now doing the right thing at the last possible moment,
Mm-hmm. And I can't even keep up with Lindsey Graham anymore. I can't stand him. But I can't figure out, like, is he for or against the movement to not? I mean, it's done now. He's been ratified. But I was like, bitch. I mean, Lindsey, I have
no idea. He's not a lesbian. I figured that out. But
okay,
I have no idea in terms of his policies or what he feels about Trump. It's what it is. All these people are playing whatever's trending. Like I want to appeal to my constituency. I want to appeal to the market. I want to be
political day traders.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't. Whatever.
Yeah, but I thought he was on the side of right, even though once the Amy Coney Barrett happened, I was like, and I had no respect for him anyway, but then it seemed like he switched again. Like he switched to being on the side of I was like, man, are you not embarrassed at all? Have you not even a modicum of shame of any kind? Like
the whole Republican Party sold their soul for Trump. They basically made a deal with the devil. The devil's like, hey, I can bring you this guy. He's super popular.
Not Mitt Romney, no. I have to respect him.
Yeah, okay. He didn't go down to Georgia.
And there's a couple outliers, but they're just now popping up. Just now after a siege. But I'll give you this candidate. He's super popular. You'll get a lot of votes. You'll get 74 million votes if you just sign off. He's a piece of shit.
Right.
You have to give away all of your morals and all of your ethical code and not stand for anything for 4 years. Will you do it?
Keith
and
made the same decision when he started partnering up with me to do stand-up, by the way. He had to do the same thing. He's like, I don't care about my reputation. I know everybody hates this guy. But I'm going to do it.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, though. Yesterday, I think it was people. I forgot. There was an article I saw, and then it said, look at the famous actors that support Trump, what they said about yesterday's Capitol break-in. And they only had 4 people on there. Usually there's a few more that you already despise, but the only 4 people that they can get commentary from supporting the break-in was Kevin Sorbo, Kirstie Alley, Scott Baio, and Randy Quaid. That's all
those
they
are
could get.
celebrities now?
Randy Quaid!
What's Randy Quaid's last famous line? Shitter's full, right?
Wasn't he deported? Like, is he even allowed to vote?
The Randy Quaid saga intrigues me to no end.
It is intriguing. It is. But it's like you say celebrity, it's loose. It's loose. It's like I'm a celebrity, but like a little more.
Yeah. When you say bad shit, he says how high. It is
that dude's video, bro, with the lights strobing and shit.
He turned into Cousin Eddie. He literally he went so method. He can't get out of that role.
Well, everybody, hey, make sure you catch on YouTube the shit show. If you are a comedian, throw up their Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, hit them up, and we also have at the Liar Show also.
Liar Comedy, yeah.
Liar Comedy
is our handle on most things. We're still trying to get that handle on YouTube, but you can search us and find it.
But yes, it's one of the most popular. It is definitely one of the most popular, open mics, and I've seen why. I've only gotten to get in there once. Emails tend to come out while I'm at work, and then I'm like, shit, I missed it. No!
You gotta grease the wheels, Dan. Come on. You gotta
What have you done for us?
Wheels. I gotta get behind the curtain with you, huh? All right. Oh, wait, that might not be where you were going with that. So, anyway, 2 hilarious guys. Hey, you guys want to stay with us to play a little game here?
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Yeah, sure.
All right.